Welcome to the Psychic Pinup Podcast, the anything and everything spiritual podcast where we dive into hot topics, readings, viewer questions, and more. Thank you for tuning in. Now, sit back, relax, and let's dive right into it.
Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Anything and Everything Spiritual Podcast. My name is Linda. I am also known as the Psychic Pinup. Now, I've been pondering on this week's topic, and Spirit gave me the answer last night. I think it was in conjunction with some conversations that I have been having with some people over the last week or so. I think it's an important conversation to be having today. It's a gentle conversation, but it's also an honest conversation. Today, I would like to talk about the difference between healing and avoiding life. Because at some point on the spiritual path, many of us have to ask ourselves a hard question. And that is, am I truly healing? Or am I using spirituality to stay comfortable? Now, this is not about judgment. I'm choosing to record this episode to bring awareness. If you've ever wondered whether you're doing the work or quietly hiding behind it, I feel this episode is for you. So let's begin. When healing becomes a safe place, and healing often starts because something hurts, we turn inwards. We slow down, we reflect, and that's healthy. Really, it is. But sometimes healing, and I'm using my inverted commas with my fingers, can become a holding pattern. We can stay in reflection for so long that life stops moving. We keep processing, we keep analysing, we keep preparing, inverted commas I'm using again. And we keep doing this without ever stepping forward. Now, healing is meant to restore you to life. It's not meant to remove you from life. So, are the majority of us healing, or are we avoiding? Because avoidance doesn't always look obvious. Sometimes it can look like more journaling instead of having hard conversations. Another course instead of action. Waiting to feel, inverted commas again, fully healed before trying. And even pulling back from life to stay regulated. Are we guilty of those? Spiritual language can make avoidance sound noble. But if your practices keep you from engaging with real life, you have to ask yourself, is this right? Question, is something off? Now, healing is there to expand capacity. Avoidance shrinks it. Now, this is one of the hard truths here about healing. It involves discomfort. Real healing is rarely comfortable. If you are on a true healing journey, it will ask you to feel emotions you'd rather bypass. It will ask you to take responsibility for patterns. It will ask you to show up differently. It will ask you to be seen. Now, this is where people get confused with healing and avoidance. They may feel that they are on a healing journey, or they are healing or going through healing, but they are in fact avoiding. Avoidance feels safer. And we all love the safe path, don't we? And why do we like the safe path? The easy road? Because it keeps you in control. Whereas healing asks you to participate. Not when you feel ready, but when you feel honest. It leads me into the next section of this episode, and I've been thinking about this. Let's talk about nervous system regulation versus emotional avoidance. And there is an important distinction here. Regulation is about supporting your capacity. Avoidance is about preventing exposure. Regulation helps you return to life with more presence. Avoidance keeps you away from situations that challenge you. So ask yourself, does this practice help me re-engage or retreat? So ask yourself before making decisions based on how you are feeling. Does this help me re-engage or retreat? Both rest and action matter. Healing is dynamic, not static. If you find yourself making decisions because it's easier, you know you are not going to grow and move forward. That is static. Ripping the band-aid off, facing situations, facing the hard talk does help you move forward. It does help you heal. Now, I know that us as a collective, there has been a huge move in spirituality, New Age, movement, alternative thinking, holistic healing modalities are being more widely accepted and embraced. To the point where it is quite normal to be having conversations with people who are on their healing journey, and they quite openly talk about their healing journey. And I'd like to talk to you about that. At some point, staying in healing mode can become a little bit too familiar. You know who you are there. Stepping into life means risking change, risking failure, risking your success. That scares the bejesus out of people. If you are listening to this and you can resonate with everything I've been speaking about so far, I need you to just consider what I'm about to say here, please. Healing is a phase. It is not a permanent address. You don't need to be fully healed to live. We are never fully healed. Every time we heal, there will be something else that will trigger you, and that will be brought to the surface. So, my friends, I'm sorry to say you are going to be healing for the rest of your life. And the only real way of healing is to live. You heal by living. I'm just going to put a few questions to you to sit with. Am I using healing to delay a decision? Am I avoiding something that requires courage? Do my practices support growth or stagnation? And what would life look like if I trusted myself a little more? Now, in no way are these questions meant to shame. I've brought them up as an invitation for you to do a little bit of reflection, a little bit of soul searching to help you move forward. I just want you to know that healing is not about perfecting yourself. It's about meeting life with honesty. Avoidance will disconnect you from life and experiences. Healing will reconnect you to it. So if you've been hiding, be gentle on yourself. If you have been resting, honour that. And if it's time for you to step forward, make some changes, I want you to trust yourself. Life is part of the medicine here. It's part of the bigger picture. Remember, fear is not an emotion. It is a choice. So thank you for sitting with me with this, what I consider a bit of a kick up the backside conversation. I hope I didn't offend anybody. These are just my thoughts, you know that. I am open for discussion. If you would like to drop me a line, by all means, feel free to reach out to me. If you would like to share any of your experiences, stories, or drop me a few questions, you know where to reach me. So until next time, keep choosing truth over comfort. It may not be easy, but it won't let you down either. Thank you, everybody. Take care. I will be back next week. Thank you. Bye.
You have been listening to Linda, the Psychic Pinup. Linda is a psychic medium based on the New South Wales south coast of Australia. You can connect with her via her website, thepsychicpinup.com.au, or join her on her weekly live feeds on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all under the same name, The Psychic Pinup. Thanks for listening.